Observer team.
Owen Arthur on March 6th, laughing off the attempts by the de facto Minister of Foreign Affairs to take away his accreditation and that of the others who were invited to observe the electoral process in Guyana. It had become clear that an attempt was being made to rig the elections, and Owen Arthur, who headed the Commonwealth Observer Mission, had begun to speak out against it. When Karen Cummings attempted to lecture him and the other observers, Owen Arthur would have none of it.
I speak on behalf of the Commonwealth, the largest concentration of people in the world. Yes. And I am not going to have, not me, the Commonwealth disrespected by a threat to take away the accreditation of the Commonwealth. I will speak to the Commonwealth. I'm going for it. I'm going to speak to the Commonwealth Secretary General shortly. She's ready to speak to me. And I have a duty to her to report accurately. Absolutely. And I cannot now avoid speaking accurately. Absolutely. I agree. So that if you apologize, because I'm attending, not. Hello. Then you take it away, but give you back.
That's right.
Because good people have never did this to me yet.
Once outside the Ashman's building in Georgetown, he again expressed his displeasure at what was happening.
I laughed.
Yes.
Because the minister did not accredit me.
G come in.
No, G come in. I was invited by the government of Guyana as part of, excuse me, the government of Guyana invited the Commonwealth to send a team. The Commonwealth asked me to chair the team. I have been duly accredited by a government, and therefore I am not going now to comment on whether somebody threatened to stop what they did not create.
After observing what was a free and fair elections, Owen Arthur had spoken about Guyana's place in the Caribbean integration movement.
I just want to say this, that Guyana is a member of CARICOM. And as you are familiar, CARICOM has a charter of civil society. And that charter of civil society commits all Caribbean countries to putting in place all such good practices that could ensure free and fair elections and the operation of a proper parliamentary system. And that if there are any provisions in those recommendations that coming from the Commonwealth that would enable Guyana to even better live up to its commitments under the Charter of Civil Society of CARICOM, then I believe that as a faithful member of the Caribbean community, CARICOM, Guyana should do so because it has a duty to give effect fully to the charter of that civil society that makes it a legitimate and a member of good standing.
As the days, weeks and months went by, other Caribbean leaders spoke out about what was happening in Guyana. When the Prime Minister of St. Vincent, Ralph Gonsalves, said that CARICOM would not stand by and watch the elections in Guyana being stolen, he was castigated by officials of APNU Plus AFC, notably its campaign manager Joseph Herman. On June 12th, Owen Arthur wanted his views recorded on how he felt about the attacks on Gonsalves.
The vitriolic attack on other leaders is really, in a way, putting Guyana in a condition where it appears to have itself being led by people who are of order. Mr. Harmon cannot be allowed to indulge his appetite to be attacking leaders. Is an issue at the level of leaders between leaders of the Caribbean and Guyana. Then one would expect that leaders of the Caribbean would have to be spoken to with respect, and that the person who should be qualified to speak to other Caribbean leaders will be the leader of Guyana and not Mr. Joe Harmon.
In a message to mark Owen Arthur's death, the People's Progressive Party described him as an eminent elder statesman and a champion for equal rights and democracy. The party said Guyanese will forever remember Owen Arthur's defense of their right to choose their leaders democratically. In his own statement, the PPP's presidential candidate, Dr. Irfan Ali, said Owen Arthur, to his last breath, represented and stood up for justice, freedom, democracy, and fairness in a member state of CARICOM, Guyana. Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness Monday described Arthur as a person who was passionate about his country. Holness said on Twitter, "Today I pause to pay my respects to a man who served Barbados and the Caribbean with distinction." He said Arthur, an economist, was passionate about his country and the dream of regional integration. The Caribbean Community Secretary General Erwin LaRocque said the entire Caribbean community mourns the passing of an ardent regionalist in Owen Arthur. In a message, President David Granger said he was saddened by the death of Owen Arthur and extended condolences to his family. The people of Barbados today launch 3 days of national mourning. Owen Arthur dead at 70.